So 2019's coming, or already came, or has already gone. I don't know. Like everybody, I always get a little reminiscent about the past year. It's been pretty crazy. Actually, this has probably been the craziest year with the channel personally anyways. But I like to look back and, over the next few minutes, kind of go over what I thought was the best video that I made. I'll talk about my best performing, my worst performing, as well as what else do I got? The most frustrating videos to make. I'll also talk about the videos that I learned the most. There's only one actually, and then the video that was the funnest to make. So my best video from my perspective anyways is going to go to the Most Limitless version 2 re-review. Why do I say that's my best video? Because I finally found myself having fun again making videos. And there was a lot of, I'll say, more artistic things that I was learning about, and then finally was able to add into that video. So the transitions, adding the music, everything just kind of came together in my mind for that video. So it's done, I don't know if it's done fairly well, but it was a standout video in my mind. The second reason why I think it was one of my better videos or best videos this year was because it finished the story of the Most Limitless case that started back, I think, in 2016 when I broke 2 phones in a span of about 10 minutes because they told me that, well, these cases are tough. You could definitely do what you're going to do in them. And so it was kind of a, the story that kind of spanned over 2 years kind of came to a conclusion. And like, if you guys haven't watched my videos, like, their case is still doing very well in terms of my overall ranking. So that's my best video from my perspective personally. Now, the best performing video was actually the 15 things I noticed during the Apple's iPhone XS keynote. And this video was actually, I was a little surprised that it had done so well. I knew it was going to pick up hits the moment that I released it because it was a timely piece, a timely opinionated piece. But I didn't realize that it was going to do fairly well, over 300,000 views. So it's not my highest video, but it's the largest video in the shortest amount of time. And so that video actually taught me a lot, and I really liked that format that I had gone with and that style. I felt at that time there was going to be a lot of, videos out there just regurgitated whatever was said. And so I've gotten, I think, very cynical in my mildly older age, and just hearing the same things over and over again, I thought, why don't I just make it so opinionated? And I think I'm going to do a few more of those videos. I've got a whole thing planned in the new year based on that, more like a weekly update on all the tech news that I read. I read so much tech news. Why don't I just try throwing into a thing, making fun of, stupid tech announcements that we see all the time. Now, my worst performing video, and this was such a kick in the nuts, I think, and it was my video about my Apple laptop batteries, dying. It was basically, I spent 6 months researching, collecting data, and running my battery into the ground for a video that's gotten less than 3,000 views. And the entire premise of the video is that if you think if your laptop is slow, it probably is because the battery is bad, and so you should just upgrade your battery and you'll see a performance bump. That was the entire premise, and I put so much effort in that thing, and one of my first problems I realized was that it was a little too clickbaity. I remember at the end of last year thinking like, I'm going to produce videos based on questions that I have. And this is actually one of those videos that I had planned out, and it did not do well at all, as you can see, and as I'm talking about it. Will I do more? Probably not, because all those laptops that you saw, I actually sold them so I could buy all the new iPhones. Funny story is that this channel almost ceased to exist if I didn't sell all those videos, because the first 6 months of this year, my videos did not do very well, especially these really awful ones, the 3,000 views, like, oh, such a kick in the nuts. Now, what are the most frustrating videos that I've created? I will say that the last video I've produced for this year was the poetic case video, and that was so incredibly painful to make, mostly because the products themselves I found just completely uninspired. And I don't know if it was because I was getting tired, I'm exhausted, I've been sick so much the last few months, but I just couldn't get that excited about the products, and I think it kind of showed in the videos like the Loomis. I didn't want to talk about that clear case at all, but I had to show it Because some people will just go to the product page and say, you didn't do this, what do you think about this? And, you know, have to be all inclusive for it. The next incredibly frustrating video to create, and I haven't created it, I've got it all set up. I've got another channel, the Smart Home Stuff, and I got sent this lock, and I'm usually very, very picky when it comes to what I review with any of my channels, is that I won't do anything from an Amazon seller. I won't do anything from a brand that, you know, doesn't exist well outside of just their webpage, right? This company called WeLock said, we've got a fingerprint smart lock. And I was like, holy crap, that's freaking awesome. It's so different from all the other stuff. Yeah, send me one, I'll go review it. And I've ruined an $800 door because of this stupid effing lock. It is so incredibly painful to use. I can't even re-add it. It's just like the product design is just so incredibly bad for this product. And when it comes to stuff like that, I just drag my feet. I absolutely do not want to spend more time on stuff like that. And so this review has been in the making for about 5 months now, and I'm still just dragging my feet on it. So that video is going to be very frustrating to create, has been very frustrating to create. Basically, any video that requires me to do something outside of just using an iPhone case for weeks at a time is very frustrating. Like the calorie tracker between the Fitbit Versa and the Apple Watch, that was so painful to do. The data recovery on the iPhone, that took about 3 months of just dicking around with all these really shady pieces of software, creating virtual machines so I could test them to track like the data in and out of things. That was pretty frustrating to do. And again, that was kind of back to these are the questions that I had. I'm going to make videos about them. You know, I learn a lot of stuff. And speaking about learning about stuff, what's the video that I learned the most about, I guess, in general? It's why do iPhones keep getting more expensive? And this was neat because, you know, it was a question that I've always had, finally found the answer for. And if you didn't watch it, in short, it's the base cost of the iPhone, the materials and the components, that keeps getting more expensive over time. And Apple just keeps their variable costs the same, I guess. Fixed costs keep going up. The variable costs generally sit about 65% of the total cost of the iPhone. And that's kind of something neat that you know, most of you probably didn't know. I definitely didn't know. So that video was probably the most educational for me personally. Now, what was the video that I had the most fun filming? It was actually the 21 reasons why to get a loopy case, mostly because I just got to film a lot of stupid things. And it was just a nice break. It's kind of like this video. It was just a nice break of just being so logical about a case. And it was just, you know, just to show all the fun stuff. That cranking my head, I still talk about that. People that I know have seen my videos and that I, you know, hang out with and stuff, they still make fun of me cranking my head. Like So those are kind of like the standout videos, I guess, from the last year. As I said at the beginning of the video, it was a little tougher this year personally because my entire family was at home. My kid's mom, my wife, was on maternity leave, so the entire family was around. So that really fragmented my days. And then I never mentioned it in the videos, but this channel nearly died at about around May, June. I was contemplating just ending it. It didn't become fun anymore. And some of you may have noticed that the editing of the videos got a lot better during that time, and I think that was actually, I knew that was the only way that I could keep myself interested in doing these reviews, was to learn how to edit better. And so that's been keeping my interest, and it's, I guess, just I've had a revival in terms of my passion for the channel. This is my full-time job. And so I've been really struggling with it for the last few years, and it's gotten better this year, which is pretty awesome. There's a lot of things that I am going to change, I think, in 2019. So I'm excited to see what happens. You guys will definitely see some of the differences. But yeah, I'm so tired. Like, the middle part of this video I filmed almost 2 weeks ago, and it's December 31st right now, and I'm just finishing it because it become totally irrelevant to me anyways in one day. So I have to do it now or I never will finish this video, and it's kind of a waste of time if I don't. So Bobby. All right, thanks for watching. Happy New Year. He just left. Get out of here.